imbibers, welcome to today's session again. So children, we are here with the another topic of the biological classification, which is the virus, viroids, prions and lichens, of course, which is the last topic of this particular chapter. Since you know that we have already discussed about the fungi, monera, protista, and today we are jumping to the virus, viroids and prions, and we also had this practice session related to monera and protista. Your next practice session would be about the fungi, and of course, we are going to also start with the chapter which is the plant kingdom, so also related to that also. Then please wait for the next practice session and do always attend the practice session, because we're going to discuss or we're going to attempt all the questions related to whatever we have been already taught in the class. Okay, so children, once again we are starting with the another topic of this chapter. I know this is not that elaborate in your NCERT, but yet it is important. Okay, there are small detail which is absolutely important, and the questions might come up from that also. So please pay attention while we do discuss all the related topic or concepts towards the viruses. A good evening, Shazia. I hope you guys are doing really well. But first of all, let me know, have you attempted the pre-class activities before coming to this session? Children, those pre-class assignments on your Embibe app is only because that you have a better understanding of what is going to be taught in the class. And after the session gets over, you have post-class activities, which is of course questions related to whatever has been already taught in that session. So please children, always attempt the pre and post-class activities. It's going to benefit you only. You're going to have a better understanding of the concept. You're going to have a clarity of the concept in a better way. So before we start, let me introduce you to myself. I am Anam Khan. I'll be your biology expert and of course the botany expert. And we're going to discuss all the particular topic and concepts related to botany. So children, please till with me, you have to always register for the class. The classes are already scheduled on the Embibe app. Okay, in this timing, same timing, there's always scheduled. Please do register yourself for the classes so that you get an update before the class starts and you can join us live. I will request you to join always a live session so we can interact in a better way. Okay, but always, if in case is by any chance you're not able to attend the live class, you can always watch the recorded session, always there on your Embibe app. Okay, but I would request you to please attend the live session. A good evening, Suyesh. Good evening, Shazia. Welcome to today's class, children. Let's start our session, which is the virus, viroids, prions and lichens. But before that, you know, children, since we're talking about the biological classification, you know that these are few topics which have been already covered. When we has started this chapter, we started with the introduction of the biological classification. It has been already covered. Kingdom Monera, we have already discussed. We have already discussed Kingdom Protista, and we have also discussed the fungi. And this is the last class, this is the last topic of this particular chapter, which is the virus, viroids and prions, which we are going to cover today. So today's topic would be related to viruses, viroids, prions and lichens. So let's see what we have in this particular. The concept would be covered, would be related to the viruses, tobacco mosaic viruses, bacteriophages, viroids, prions, lichens, phycobiont and mycobiont. Okay, we're going to discuss all the concepts related to this. So come on, there's a question for you children. How many of you have suffered the ill effects of viral infection? I know, I have been also catching cold. I mean, I had this viral fever already, of course, somewhere in the, you know that you also have some viral infections. Yes, you know, we all have been a victim of the viral infections, be it cold, be it the I would say the fever. Of course, you know, we have been always been the victim of the virus infection. Yes, we know that this virus exists. Yes, we have suffered from the ill effects of the viral infection. Of course, the image also suggests that she is going to sneeze because she is suffering from the cold. Okay, so of course, those viral infections are also because of the what? The viruses only. And as you know children, just for your information, the cold virus always resides in our body. Yes, it's always there, it just needs a certain activation. Okay. Moving forward, talking more about the viruses children, we have the discovery, how it is being discovered and who were the person who discovered such particular infectious agent which is called the virus. So children, the Dmitry Ivanovsky in 1892 found a pathogen, something which is going to infect, a pathogen which is smaller than bacteria and causes tobacco mosaic virus diseases. So Ivanovsky in 1892, he discovered that there was certain particular pathogen which is even smallest than a bacteria. You know that already we cannot see bacteria from our naked eyes, yet there is some organism which is being smaller than the bacteria, and that is causing the tobacco mosaic viruses, the tobacco mosaic disease in tobacco plant, and its pathogen is responsible for that. Later, M.W. Bergenic in 1898 called that particular pathogen a Contagium vivum fluidum. He named that particular pathogen as Contagium vivum fluidum. Okay, and he also gave the term which we use in our normal language. You know that the viruses has already caused so many deaths, so many calamities, so many had been victimized recently only, the past few years. You know that the COVID virus has actually infected so many people and has taken a toll on a lot of people's life. That was also a virus. So you know that this smallest pathogen, which is even the smallest than the bacteria, has causes so much havoc all over the world. Okay, and the Bergenic also gave the term virus, and we have also know that we also called as COVID virus. Okay, then comes the W.M. Stanley in 1935. He actually crystallized the virus. Why he crystallized the virus? What was the need? He wanted to study the structure of this pathogen. He wanted to know that what is the structure of this pathogen. So he crystallized this particular pathogen or this particular organism, what you called as pathogen is the virus. So these are the few top viewpoints related to the discovery of the virus. Let's see what we have next related to the virus, children. What are viruses? What are their features? What are their characteristics? So talking about the viruses, children, these are microscopic, you know, smaller than the bacteria, and that is why they are microscopic infectious agents. Why microscopic? They cannot see the bacteria, only you cannot see with the naked eyes. How can you see such microscopic organisms? So viruses are the microscopic organisms. These are exception to the cell theory. Yes, you know, every living organism is made up of cell. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life, but viruses are living. Viruses are living, and yet they do not have a cellular body. Yet their body is not constructed of a cell. Clear? They have nucleoprotein that are able to utilize another living cell for multiplication. What they do? They have their own nucleoprotein. So by the time they enter into the other body or the living component body or the host body, they use that nucleoprotein for the division, for increasing their number, so they can increase the chances of infection. Okay, so they technically the word is that they multiply. They, and in general term you can always say the reproduction, but we tend to use the particular term for the virus. They tend to multiply using the nucleoprotein inside the cell. Okay, or whose cell? Host cell, because it does not have its own cellular body, so you always needs the other cell to be dependent on, so can do the multiplication. And the people and the study, the detailed study of the viruses, and the study is called virology. They can reproduce only, there's always a condition for the viruses that they can only reproduce in the living cell. This is what I have told you right now, and they contain both living and non-living properties. Yes, they do have non-living and both non-living properties until and unless the virus enters into a cell or virus enters into a host body. It is not considered living. It is not in active stage. It cannot cause any infection because outside the host body this is inactive, dead, non-living, whatever you can say. But as soon as they basically come in contact with the host body, they get the cell, they get the ability, they use their ability to multiply and cause the infection. So yet they possess the property of both non-living and living organisms. Okay. This is about the few characteristics of the viruses. Moving forward, talking more about the viruses, let me know, is there anything you want me to repeat again? Is there any characteristic which you haven't understand? Children, come on, quickly tell me. Is there any point which you are not able to understand? Any point which is not able to understand, anything which you want me to repeat? Yes. So moving forward, talking more about the viruses, next we have the diseases which are being caused by these viruses over the span of years. So children, in the animals, majorly the viruses called as the mumps, smallpox, herpes, influenza, and of course the deadly disease which is the AIDS. So these are the few diseases which are being causing the major havoc all these years caused by the viruses in the animals. And yet the plants are also not, I would say, they are not even left from the infection of viruses. The plants are also being infected by the viruses, and the diseases caused in the plants are the symptoms are the mosaic formation, the leaf rolling and curling, the yellowing of veins and clearing, the dwarfing and the stunted growth. So just because they are only causing diseases in the plants, in the animals, yet they are also infecting, they are also manipulating, they are also hampering the functioning of the plants also. How? They are basically getting the yellowing of the leaves, they are doing the curling of the leaves, they are having the mosaic formation, they are basically retarding the growth and development of the plants. So the animals and the plants are both are impacted, both are infected because of the viruses. Clear? Okay, but you know that these are major diseases which are caused in the humans, which are very much popular, and they can be life taking, life threatening diseases. Okay, moving forward, talking more about the viruses, children, the genetic material. Yes, that is the whole cause of the existence of the viruses, is because they have this genetic material inside it. What is the genetic material of the viruses is? Talking about the genetic material, children, the viruses contain genetic material which could be RNA or DNA, both. They can have DNA as a genetic material just like us, they can have RNA as a genetic material also. So they possess both RNA and DNA both. In plant mainly possess a genetic material of single stranded RNA, and when we talk about the animals, they have single or a double stranded RNA or single or a double stranded DNA. It means the more ability of virus to infect in animals is always higher, because they exist in various forms, single and double stranded RNA, single or double stranded DNA. So the possibility of infection in the plants as well as the animals is equally, I would not say equal, but I say is more in the animals, because they exist in several forms. But the major infectious agents, the major virus which is infecting the plants, have a genetic material of RNA. Okay. And then they also have bacteriophages which have double stranded DNA viruses. They have bacteriophages which have the double stranded DNA viruses. So now you know the different kind of a genetic. This is a bacteriophage, this is the bacteriophage, children. This is your whole capsid molecule, DNA, RNA, everything. These are all viruses forms basically existing. These are the genetic material existing in the plants as well as in the animals. Clear? Any part which is not clear? Any part which is not clear, children? Anything you want me to repeat again? We have talked about the characteristics of the viruses. We have seen the kind of forms it exists. We have seen the kind of a genetic material it possesses, and we have also seen how viruses are infecting the plants as well as the animals. Clear? Shazia, Suyash, everyone present? Is it clear? Is it clear, children? But again, I would like to remind you that we are starting with a new chapter tomorrow, which is the plant kingdom. okay, at the same timing. So do not forget to register yourself for the class, children, because that's a very new chapter. Since you start with the first chapter of the particular first topic of that particular chapter, you have a better understanding of the coming sessions. So please do register yourself for the class of the introduction to the plant kingdom, biological classification. So we have already done. Okay, so moving forward, talking about more about the viruses. Next we have the structure of the bacteriophage. You can see, children, this is how your bacteriophage look like. What is the bacteriophage? The name itself is kind of a clear. Can you see the bacteria infection? The bacteriophage are majorly infecting the bacteria. These are called bacteriophage. Children, the bacteriophage is made up of capsid and which is made up of capsomeres. Can you see this? Can you see this? These are all what? Capsomeres. So the bacteriophages are made up of capsid. The capsid constitutes of capsomeres. The small unit which create a capsid is called capsomeres, and they are arranged in a helical or polyhedral geometric fashion. Okay, can you see this, children? This is how they are being arranged. They are being arranged in a which manner? They are arranged in a helical or polyhedral manner. Okay, okay. Next, inside the protein coat, viruses contain genetic material that could be either RNA or DNA. This is the part which is a protein coat, and inside it there is a DNA as well as the RNA. Both. They have both DNA and RNA in the protein covering. Clear? Clear, children? Okay, so this is about the structure of the bacteriophage. So bacteriophage has a protein covering, a protein coat which called capsid, and the capsid is made up of capsomeres. These capsomeres are arranged in a form of helical structure or polyhedral condition. Inside the protein coat there is a genetic material which could be DNA as well as the RNA. Clear? Moving forward, talking more about the viruses, children, next we have the viroids. So this is all about the viruses. We have discussed the whole particular structure. We have discussed different type of viruses existing, different type of diseases is causing, and of course we have discussed about the structure of the bacteriophage, which is the most common viruses infecting the bacteria, getting into the bacterias. Okay, clear? Next, done with the viruses, let's see the next particular concept, which are today's concept, which is the viroids. So what are viroids? Viruses was not enough to cause the infection. Now we have viroids also. So what are, children, viroids? So children, these are also infectious RNA particles. The viroids may only have RNA as a genetic material. The viruses have both the DNA and RNA as a genetic material, but when we talk about the virions or the viroids, they have RNA as a genetic material. Clear? And it was discovered by Diner. It was discovered by Diner. Okay. What do they have? They are devoid of protein coat and have less molecular weight. So now we already had this virus which was smaller than the bacteria, and now we have more microscopic infectious agent which is called the viroids. Okay. So children, they do not have a protein coat like viruses. The viruses had this capsid protein covering which is created of a capsomeres. But when we talk about the viroids, they do not have the protein coat, or they do not have protein. They are devoid of protein and less molecular weight. They have molecular weight less than this. The RNA inside the viroids is folded in circular or linear manner. Can you see this, children? It could be this way and it could be like this. The RNA, the genetic material which is the RNA inside the viroid, could be linear and could be in a helical manner, or it could be a circular manner. They are obligate parasite. Obligate parasite. What are obligate parasite? That to complete their life cycle, to basically survive only, they have this obligation of having a host body. They cannot survive without host. They cannot survive without host. They have been obligate parasites. Okay, children, these are known to cause infect plants, which is 20 plant diseases. RNA, you know, the major infection causing agent in particular plant was RNA having viruses. Yes, viroids also have RNA, which is responsible for causing 20 plant diseases, and in that 20 plant diseases we have potato spindle tuber, and we also have Chrysanthemum stunt. So these are the two diseases majorly caused by the viroids, because viroids have RNA as a genetic material, and the plants infecting agents already majorly have RNA as a genetic material, but animals can be infected by both RNA and DNA containing viruses. Clear? But viruses, I feel that they are only restricted to the plants only. So viroids are only restricted to plants, since they have this genetic material called RNA, which causes more than 20 diseases in plants, and these are the major diseases caused by the viroids. Clear? Clear about the viruses? Clear about the viroids, children? Any part which was not clear? Anything which is not clear? Lakshita, Shazia? Anything which is not clear, children? Okay, moving forward, discussed about the viruses, viroids. Next we have the other, which are the prions. Children, I know you must have heard about this. This is the prions. Prions, what are they? They are again very small size glycoprotein molecules, and they are also the infectious agents. The prions are also the infectious agents, and very infectious, I tell you. They causes this disease absolutely in the cattle mainly, because we are going to come to that. So these are the small sized glycoprotein molecules which works as an infectious agent. They can accumulate in nervous system and can able to degenerate it. Simply imagine, they can get inside your central nervous system and can basically degenerate over there. It can basically hamper the functioning of the central nervous system. It can hamper the functioning of the brain. Imagine if something is being infection is causing in the brain, how is going to infect the whole body. So they can directly attack the brain. Major diseases which are caused by the prions are the Scrappies disease in sheep, and mad cow disease, the Kuru, which is laughing death, and the Cirrus Fedalt Jacob disease in humans. So the prions are infecting the cattle majorly, and they are also infecting the humans. So these are also another infectious agent which are absolutely harming, which is absolutely not good for the health, of course not good for the proper functioning of the central nervous system. If something is attacking the central nervous system, if something is causing the infection in the central nervous system, imagine the kind of impact it is going to have on the whole body. Okay, because central nervous system is the most important system or most important part of the whole body. I am not saying the other parts are not important, but you know, the whole controlling unit, the whole assessing unit, everything is there in the central nervous system. So prions are basically infecting the central nervous system. Good? Clear? Clear, children? Clear, children? Any part which is not clear? Okay. So children, this is about the viruses. We have discussed about the viroids, and we have also discussed about the prions. Any part, anything which you want me to repeat again, I can explain again. Let me know, children. Have you understood everything? not even difficult also, it's very easy part of the biological classification. I feel the much difficult part is yet to come when we're going to discuss about the algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms, angiosperms. They are more elaborate, they are more, I would say, little difficult than the biological classification. Anything, children, which is not clear? Okay, moving forward, talking about the prions more, we have lichens. What are lichens, children? Lichens, you know, it is having a symbiotic association between the algae and the fungi. Symbiotic means they are basically living together. They basically living together and getting benefits from each other. Okay, they are symbionts. Okay, they are having this mutual relationship in which both of them are being benefited from each other. Both of them are obtaining benefits from each other for the survival. So the lichens are the symbionts, and it is a mutual relationship. It is a symbiotic relationship between the algae and the fungi. Yes, the component of the algae, the function of the algae, the function of this relationship in the algae is responsible for preparation of the food, because it is a phycobiont. You know, algae are autotrophic. They can prepare their own food. So when this association happen between the algae and the fungi, algae is responsible for creating the food. Algae is also called the phycobiont. Yet the other part, which is the fungal component, provides the shelter and absorb minerals, nutrients, which is known as mycobiont. Mycobiont, you know, mycology is the study related to the fungi, or phycology is the study related to the algae. So in this, the phycobiont, which is an algae, prepares the food, and the fungi, what does it do? The fungi gives the shelter and absorbs mineral. Okay, so that is why they are having this mutual relationship, mutual association between each other. Okay, the lichens do not grow in polluted areas, hence they are good pollution indicators. Lichens are absolutely amazing pollution indicators because they do not grow in the areas which have high pollution. Okay, so if you have to detect the area having pollution or not, you can always identify by the presence of lichens or not. Clear? We will solve questions, do not worry. Quiz, do not worry. So yes, we have quiz ahead, do not worry about it. We are going to solve questions related to it. First, now you need to understand the concept clearly. Is it clear? Is the lichens clear, children? Is the lichens clear? Children, is the lichens clear? Okay, so this is about virus, viroids, prions and lichens. Let's see what we have next. We have a question. This is what Swiyash was asking. So children, all these are cellular organism exception. What do you think among these are exceptions? Come on, quickly tell me. What do you think among these are the exceptions? Is the context part clear, children? Concept part clear? Viruses, viroids, prions, lichen, is it clear? Yes or no? Or you want me to repeat anything again? Please let me know, children. Otherwise, solve the question. All these are cellular except what do you think? All these are cellular except the viruses. Simple, viruses are not cellular. These are the exception of the cell theory. They do not have a structure or cellular organization. These are non-cellular organisms. Next question. The prions contain what? Protein, nucleic acid, carbohydrate, fats. What is a major component of the prions, children? What are the major components of the prions? Come on, quickly tell me. We already discussed everything related to it. Now you are solving questions. So I expect you to answer because just now we have discussed everything. Again and again I am telling you, children, tomorrow we are going to start the new chapter of the plant kingdom. Plant kingdom is absolutely, I would not say difficult, I would not say easy, I would just say it is little more complex than biological classification. So I would request you to do not miss the class. Please register yourself now only, because we are going to discuss about the plant kingdom, we are going to discuss about algae, bryophytes, everything in the sequence in the coming sessions. Okay. So children, if you miss a class, you will skip the continuity of the next session. Okay. So please do attend the class. Answer this question. The prions are made up of simple proteins. This is what I told you, no, glycoproteins which is present in the prions. Yes or no? They have proteins in their structure. The branch of science that deals with the study of viruses is called what? What do you think? There is a branch of the science which deals with the study of the viruses. What it is called? What it is called? What is the branch of science that deals with the viruses is called? Absolutely simple, children. The study of viruses is called virology. Absolutely simple. Next question, children. Viroids are different from virus. This is good question. Viroids and viruses are different. Why viruses and viroids are different? Because just now we have discussed about it. Why the viruses are different from the viroids? Come on, children. This is so easy. Why viroids and viruses are different? Why the viruses and viroids are different? What they have not in common? Come on, children, quickly answer. Just now we have discussed this. The viroids are different from the viruses because in viroids we have RNA molecule without protein coat. This is what we have studied. This is just now we have told you that the viruses and viroids are not similar because in the viroids there is RNA without the protein coat, and yet they are very infectious. Okay, no doubt they are absolutely infectious because viroids were discovered by the scientist T.O. Diner in 1971 as a casual agent of the potato spindle tuber disease, and they are also smaller than the viruses. This is what I have told you. And it is differing from the viruses in having RNA molecule that lack protein coat, hence named as viroids. Okay, and they also have a lower molecular weight. Next question. What was the first viruses to be crystallized for the first time? What do you think? Which viruses was the crystallized for the very first time? This is also the very first starting of the chapter I have told you to study the structure of the viruses. Which viruses was the crystallized? Come on, quickly tell me. Which viruses was the crystallized? Which was the viruses to be crystallized for the very first time? Come on. So easy, children, absolutely easy. which was the very first virus to be crystallized for the very first time? Children, the viruses which was crystallized for the very first time was the tobacco mosaic virus. Yes, the tobacco mosaic virus was crystallized for the very first time, because this is also the first virus which led us the discovery of the viruses. There was a casual agent causing the disease in the tobacco plant, which is the tobacco mosaic virus, okay, which was basically crystallized and studied that these are the pathogens which are even smaller than the bacteria. Clear? Moving forward, children, next we have another question. Who discovered the viruses? Who was a major person, who was a scientist discovered the viruses? Because it's absolutely important. Who discovered the viruses, children? Come on, quickly tell me. Who discovered the viruses? Very simple, very easy question, that who discovered the viruses? So children, John Elman, Frederick Roth, Dmitry Ivansky, Martinus Bergenic. Yes, it was Dmitry Ivansky who discovered the virus, working on the tobacco mosaic plant, which was infected by the tobacco mosaic virus. Okay, very simple, very easy. Next question. But we are at the end of our particular chapter or particular topic, yes, which is the viruses, children. So today we have discussed about the viruses, prions, viroids and lichens, and of course we have come to the end of our biological classification chapter. So you know that the viruses are absolutely microscopic infectious agents, replicate only when they have a host body. They have this non-living as well as the living properties both. The viruses are consisting of the segment of the nucleic acid. They can have DNA, RNA both, and they can also surrounded by a protein coat. There are three types of viruses based on the host, which is phytohygiene, zoophagine and bacteriophages. Phyto means which are infecting the plant, zoo means infecting the animals, bacteriophages which are infecting the bacteria, because we have also discussed the structure of the bacteriophage. In viruses, reproduction are of two main types, phagic and phenotic. Viruses are infectious RNA particles and plants. Prions are the small size glycoprotein which works on the infectious agent, because prions are also very infectious because they directly impact the nervous system, they impact the central nervous system. So this brings to us to our end of our chapter also, to our end of our session also. So tomorrow we are going to start with the new chapter, which is the plant kingdom. So before you go, children, you know the ritual, of course. Okay, so which kingdom plays a most important role in nature? Yes, we are going to study about this only tomorrow, because this plant kingdom is basically have more major extremely important role in the nature. But before you go, children, you know this is the Embibe app. What you have to do, you just have to download it, sign up through your phone number, get an OTP or through your email ID, through password. What you have to do, you just have to select the class, you select the board, select the 11th CBSE, and then next select the particular language, and just done. You will land on this page, and as you click on the home page, you will see there's an Embibe live classes, and as you click on the Embibe live classes, you will see that these are the ongoing classes basically, and these are the classes for the next 10 days. So tomorrow we're going to study about the introduction of the plant kingdom, and then we also have a practice session of the fungi. Okay, next, children, you can always download the Embibe Lens app, scan the text, it will highlight all the important keywords and see everything in the 3D. Please go, just use your physics, chemistry, biology, any book, just scan the text and see everything and explore in 3D. And the last, children, you can also basically join us on the Embibe Telegram channel, okay, and you can always download the Embibe app from the App Store. Okay, please do always register for the class, so do not miss an update regarding it. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time, starting the new chapter. Till then, please take care, keep imbibing. Bye bye.
Keep imbibing. We believe in you.